where I stand.
Oh, we already know your fluorescent hair makes it already abundantly clear.
And I will say this was my whole entire chest. There are some people on this app that are sitting there saying, oh, you shouldn't wish death upon any person, no matter what side they're on. Fuck that. Fuck that. Charlie Kirk was a fucking Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
I regret to inform you that Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was shot in the neck while speaking at an event at Utah Valley University. Please join me in this moment of silence.
I require some aid.
We need to start using some of the tactics on the left and use the tool of cancel culture to get these people fired from their jobs. Because if you own a company, would you want to be in the vicinity of anybody who is this evil, who would celebrate the murder of anybody, let alone a peaceful person engaging in a debate on a college campus? These are the kinds of people who, I mean, really should be rounded up and institutionalized.
Fucking stoked right now.
Notice how they're all just dysgenic, just green hair, fluorescent hair, nose rings. They're just mutants.
You wanna know why I'm so fucking stoked?
I feel your pain.
Go ahead and Google Charlie Kirk. Go ahead.
I require some
Publicly posting this. Not just talking about this amongst friends, drunk, privacy of their own home. Publicly posting this for the world to see. Chuck Yeager over at the Youngster does have a severe case of Crybabies syndrome, but does call out a lot of the corruption on the left. He posted this video sounding like a normal human.
Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah giving a speech there. I just found out he's passed away. I can't believe he's dead. He was shot in the neck. Some of you might have seen an elderly man being dragged away. Turns out it was not him. Authorities don't know who did it. Violence is not the answer. This is a horrific tragedy.
born anew.
And we're all in danger now. This is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Violence is intellectual surrender. It's giving up and saying, I'm a loser. I don't know how to win in a battle of ideas. I'm going to resort to violence like an animal. It is the very last thing anyone, who's progressive or on the left, would ever do. We are for nonviolence. We are for peace. We are for our fellow human beings and humanity overall. So I don't know who did this, but whoever they are, they're a monster, and they've done something terrible. That was not just a pundit. That was a human being. I'm so sorry for your family.
I'm not going to show a video yet. They're very graphic. Saw it yesterday. They are floating around on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, on X. And at first I was almost going to caution people not to watch it because it's so disturbing. But I almost think that people, especially on the left, should see it. Because they should see what it is that their rhetoric, that the mainstream media, that these satanic Democrats in Congress, what they have done. And it looks like Charlie was wearing a bulletproof vest. You can see what looks to be one of the straps here from a vest that is perhaps like this, knowing very well that this was a possibility.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of...
You need not regale me with your tales of personal glory.
Oh, yeah, okay.
New political poll found that 73% of Californians think mass deportations are hurting the economy.
Yeah, the business owners we spoke with here today say they've already been impacted.
So as ICE raids continue in sanctuary cities throughout America, some are now total ghost towns. And with businesses once teeming with illegal immigrants now virtually empty, activists are sounding the alarm. However, proponents say any location that exists solely because of the presence of federal fugitives does more harm than good and never should have been allowed in America in the first place.
not only seen the impact of deportations on immigrant communities, but also on her bottom line.
We have lost over 75% of our business due to mass deportation.
We lost like about 80% of our clientele that used to dine in.
We are undefeatable!
Who also works at the car wash. She also says this is the first time an immigration sweep has happened here.
There's still so much to do.
There were rallies and protests at the Home Depot near downtown LA. They are calling for a nationwide boycott of Home Depot, and they are also asking customers to share their concerns with store managers.
When we look at the damage that unmitigated immigration has caused in this country, look at the job market, the case studies, all those that have been hurt by illegal aliens. I think they need to redirect their attention and maybe think a little harder before they say
Second chance with victory. This article talks about a restaurant that claims I am at your service. They might have to judge me. But what nobody's talking about is businesses like this that can't exist without illegal immigration. They're not making America better for anyone who isn't a fugitive. Because these businesses who are run by and serve people who aren't even supposed to be here, well, they only exist because our border was open for 4 years in a row, which allowed untold millions of followers of the earth to set up shop in sanctuary cities across America. However, powers of mine! Many of these illegal workers
We are undefeatable!
And the problem with these illegal businesses is that wherever they are, this competition, which could cause most businesses who play by the rules out of business. And they do it without playing fair. Because as everyone knows, people without a social security number, well, they're not getting paid in one single manner at all. Save thousands of dollars by underpaying their workforce. That just helps them outbid legal competitors when it comes to getting a storefront or a restaurant because they've got more capital than those who abide by the law. But that brings us to the real reason some of these sanctuary cities are now completely collapsing. The free lunch that these businesses were getting, well, it's gone. The illegal workers are gone. And the unfair advantage these places on top of that, their customers have also disappeared, making you wonder what purpose these businesses were actually serving. And now that law and order is back in America, criminals who haven't gone full Trende Aragua yet have a choice to make. Do they stay in America and dig in as fugitives who could be deported at any moment? Or do they self-deport, get the $1,000 from the Trump administration, and try to come back legally in the future? Some people say the choice between those two options is
We are undefeatable! You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
So, ICE agents, they didn't manage to get in to that business, but they didn't have to. Because who in their right mind that's a criminal is gonna visit that place now? Nobody. And as you're about to see, even without arresting anyone, ICE has basically doomed some of these criminal enterprises.
Communities, but also on her bottom line.
We have lost over 75% of our business due to mass deportation.
And she's not alone.
We lost like about 80% of our clientele that used to dine in.
Benedict Sandoval manages a restaurant in LA's Westlake district.
This is Westlake, and this area of California, it's an area where the local Home Depot has been subject to multiple high-profile raids over the last month. There are a lot of federal fugitives here. The federal government knows about it, and they're on the streets looking for them. And it makes total sense to me that if most of the people here shouldn't be here to begin with, once law and order shows up, these folks aren't going to be doing things like hanging out at restaurants, working at those restaurants, or doing pretty much of anything in public. Unless they want to get arrested. Now, of course, nobody wants to see a business fail, and our emotions are instantly manipulated when we hear of a company going out of business because we feel bad for them, especially when it's a small business. But perhaps that's what folks operating these places who've been getting rich off illegal immigration hope we think, so that ICE goes away and they can keep their illegal workers and their illegal customers and keep making lots of money.
Has been filling it too, and so has most. A new political poll shows that 73% of Californians say mass deportations are bad for the economy. Nearly half of Republicans in that poll agree.
California Republicans.
No, I'm actually more surprised that 100% of them are saying.
The poll also said the majority of Californians believe the border should be secure and illegal
The right
immigration
heroes could make
stopped.
all
It
the
also said
difference.
the majority of undocumented immigrants they believe should also deserve a pathway towards citizenship.
Well, they have a pathway towards citizenship. It just doesn't begin.
I will bring
with
peace to
them
this universe,
entering the
no matter
country
the cost.
illegally. You have to come in legally, right? That's how the pathway works. You don't break in and cut in line and I'm first. No, it doesn't work like that. But this business owner here, she just told us who she voted for without telling us who she voted for, because she's all upset that the illegal fugitives that were paying her rent and her mortgage and for all of her employees and possibly were her employees
I
are
tend
gone
to
now.
lost
This
souls,
was
like a
75%
shepherd
of her
tends to
business.
his
That
flock.
restaurant's not going to make it. But here's the other part of this. All these polls
They'll be coming in
saying
30
that people
seconds.
think
Stay
deportations are
strong.
bad for the economy are misleading, because deporting illegal fugitives only affects an economy built on top of them. Mass deportations have no effect on the legitimate sectors of our economy or on businesses that play by the rules, hire legally, and do their own background checks. On top of that, when you have an inflated economy, two things happen. Once it's fixed, and the first of those is
The
that
battle
rent goes
starts in
down,
5,
because now businesses that have to pay
3,
more to hire
2,
legally, well, they don't have as much money to give to their landlords who also benefit from illegal immigration. And with millions of people having left the U.S. workforce in general over the last few months, there are not only more jobs available for legal residents, but those residents have come down to quality. For people to live. So now, the average consumer is going to have more money, and businesses, they will pay the amounts of money for labor that local laws mandate. They're going to have to pay minimum wage, and their landlords are going to have to figure out how to have tenants who abide by the rules instead of tenants who break the law. Rebalancing is good for the economy.
Healing power. You are not alone.
Illegal immigrants were given those jobs.
The amount of permits that we're receiving is not the best quality.
Why not subsidize the business and breaking employment?
I feel like
That would just be encouraging lawlessness. On top of that, let's say the federal government says, okay, there are a lot of illegal immigrants working at restaurants in sanctuary cities, and to keep those restaurants open, we're not going to enforce law. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to stop enforcing the law at this place. You know what's going to happen? Every single person that sneaks across the U.S. border is going to make a beeline for this restaurant, and they're going to come away with 4 or plus. And these places are just going to be a haven for criminals.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Businesses that benefit from lawlessness. You see, this doesn't help the law by the time you have to use law. You can't take one specific industry in America and say, okay, this industry is a safe space for criminals, a sanctuary for criminals in a sanctuary city. That's where we're seeing this. We're not seeing things because of immigration raids in beyond sanctuary cities. So many places where employers have been told by their local leaders that it's totally okay to break the law.
I am finished!
To offset all the victims we're looking
She hopes the Trump administration pays attention
Doesn't make quantum magic. We are in this together.
It could be that.
This shield will serve me well.
that what they think is the best for the country.
Destroy the cone turrets! Goodbye, turrets!
I require some aid.
Not gonna happen. All of these businesses that might have to shut down now, they were paid elevated levels of rent because they served customers. You own nothing! Now that they're not here, you've got a legal business, you're gonna get a great deal on rent, and you're gonna be able to start your own business. And with all of these workers leaving the the economy at all. And every single one of these businesses that was benefiting from illegal immigration, well, they can renegotiate with their landlords and say, my armor's got a lock on my customers. Well, if the landlord doesn't want the store to go empty, he's going to have to do that, isn't he? And there's another angle to this that nobody's talking about. Everyone says, oh, it's all illegal immigrants that do these jobs. They're the only ones that do these jobs. Trying to make us believe that Americans only work in these very same positions. But that's not true. A meatpacking plant was raided over this past summer. The owner lost half his workforce, and he complained, wondering how he was going to stay open the very next day. He was waiting room full of applicants. Work in a business that just got raided by the federal government so that they can get support to that. Wouldn't make any sense. There are legal workers out there, and many Americans would love to see it to apply for a job right now.
Only 60 seconds left.
Today, there were rallies and protests at Home Depot downtown
By the eye of Agamotto!
Against the world!
Raids have taken place at a Home Depot recently.
That's about better already.
You know what? When ICE goes on these operations, they don't come back empty-handed. They come back with people who have
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
In America, people which is the whole reason why they're taking jobs that would be given to other businesses. Hire people or say laborers and have permission to be in America, and now there's more available for people who are doing the right thing, playing by the rules, and are on a proper pathway. People who are because they've got nothing to worry about. Chaos this time. There's a flea market outside of the place. All these tents.
Home Depot this morning as masked federation jumped from unmarked vans and recreated a scene we've now seen dozens of times across the country. This video captured and uploaded to the Citizen app a few hours ago, appearing to have been shot from a second or third story window.
Do you believe that about 6 to 8 people were detained?
Okay, so you got a whole bunch of people that get detained every single time this place gets raided. I mean, what does that tell you about what's going on here? You have lawlessness everywhere, and all it's doing is propping up sectors of the economy that only benefit a small number of people. You're benefiting business owners who don't want to play by the rules. You're benefiting landlords who rent spaces to those business owners. You're benefiting landlords who have apartments for people who shouldn't even be here, who now can charge higher rent. Like, this is so anti-progressive because the forces that benefit from illegal immigration go against everything progressives say. They say they're sticking up for the working man of this country. They're saying they want people to get higher wages, fair wages. They say they want people to have leverage against their employers. Well, how does any of that happen if all of the apartments are gone and all the available jobs are gone and there's so many workers competing for the few jobs that are open? See, these are some big questions that everyone who's saying the economy is going to collapse do not want to answer. The economy is about to get fixed. That's what we're looking at.
Joshua Erazo is a day labor organizer at this location, tasked with connecting workers and
Perfection
employers.
is unattainable,
His estimate turned
but that
out to
should
be
not
correct,
stop us from
confirmed
trying
later
to achieve
by the
it.
Department of Homeland Security. Their statement lists 6 undocumented
They'll be
people
coming in
from
30
Guatemala
seconds.
being
Stay
arrested,
strong.
as well as one from El Salvador and one from Mexico. Erazo says the
Okay,
detained,
he needs
whom
to
you
know.
can see
Do you
being
have squirrels in
handcuffed,
the
are
photo?
street vendors and day laborers.
So these street vendors and day laborers are here benefiting from some kind of program that connects them with people who are looking for work. Now, how is this a bad thing for the workers that can still go to this Home Depot and are here legally? It's a good thing. Now they're going to get paid more. Their employers will not be able to take advantage of them, have them
securing
work
the mission
harder than
area.
they should, pay them less than they should. Those people are now further along on the economic ladder than they were when lawlessness was allowed. And you know something? I don't feel bad for the landlords who staff their business with underpaid laborers who aren't supposed to be here. I don't feel bad for a property owner that now has an empty storefront, which he used to be getting double or triple the amount of money for because our borders were wide open. See, that's the reckoning that these sanctuary cities are going to have to come to. They told landlords, they told businesses, go ahead, break the law. Nothing's ever going to happen for a long time. That's allowed to happen at the expense of country and don't have any voice at all in this illegal immigration. What I have to think is what you think. Thank you so much for watching. See you next
Here is an
day.
enemy to pursue.
Cosmos heals you. I feel better already.
The Salvadorian president shared this dramatic video on X depicting TVA and MS-13 gang members hauled off into a plane, thrown into a bus as they're being
Cosmos
held
heals
in terrorism confinement center.
So the world's toughest gang members are moved to the world's toughest prison after illegal.
The moon haunts you.
This is real firepower! These gang members have done some terrible things since secretly entering our country. And you know, winding up in El Salvador, I require some aid. That might be the only thing these thugs are truly afraid of.
Inside this mega prison, you'll find some of El Salvador's most dangerous gang members packed into massive cells, towers of bunk beds, and what looks like bird cages.
A senior Trump administration official telling News Nation in total 261 illegal aliens were transported to El Salvador.
These men described as the worst of the worst. It's tense and uncomfortable. But here, officials say comfort isn't meant to exist. The men are loaded one by one on these located military buses. Their heads goes down as officers keep them unleashed the verbally ordered the Trump administration to stop the deportation flights. The administration did not comply, and El Salvador sent my people to prison.
Everybody that was on that plane was either a Trinidad member from Venezuela or EU15. All of these people are the most notorious gang members that you can imagine.
This time I'm born again! There are allegations of filth and malnourishment overrunning this prison, but the guards...
This is real firepower!
What will tell you is that before we send dangerous second chances over, less people like that are going to want to try to illegally enter our country instead. Sending to El Salvador Center are members of dangerous organizations who've snuck across our border and committed some of the worst crimes imaginable. Activists are losing their minds over this because the idea of criminal aliens facing consequences for illegal immigration is totally unacceptable to open borders progressives. Because these people are totally against anything that would stop someone from trying to enter our country illegally, even if that person is extremely dangerous and a gang member. And none of these people actually care what gang members do to the law. They come here and try to blend in. Some of them let these dangerous criminals come to time. I need them again here in America. In fact, so many of these thugs have left their homes that crime in places like Venezuela has dropped drastically, as it's now happening here instead. Which brings us to the real reason this prison is such a game changer. Nobody wants to get sick there, and living there is the exact opposite.
The moon!
And the possibility of ICE arresting and sending someone to El Salvador.
This is real firepower!
Inside the prison, your life changes forever, and it's impossible to escape.
Inside the prison walls, the men have their heads shaved in assembly line fashion while guards stand over them.
The moment they bring you into this place and shave your head, you are no longer the same person that you used to be out on the street. Which is a good thing. Before these folks got here, they were gang members, trafficking and harming people on their illegal journey into our country and even after. But as you're about to see, the shocking ways this prison quantum down a person's scars before they fully enter.
Footage from El Salvador's high security transfers with shackled prisoners stumbling forward as heavily armed officers push them along. The wrists, ankles, and waists are tightly bound, forcing them to show in short, restricted steps. On the tarmac, riot police stand shoulder to shoulder, gripping their batons as helicopters hover overhead.
That's crazy. Feeling power process from the brick baby is designed for God.
I feel better
and
already.
Obviously security. Nobody's getting away from any of
I
the guards.
unleash the Vishanti. The moon supernova!
There's no way you can run away and you need their help to get from You can see how they have people walking. Unite. Looks like bring them to one point building. Once you've got something like this on your hands, anything your hand touches, you could exert quite a bit of force. What, that fell off my right? The Cosmos Heroes, my wrist was fine. And if you're going to handle a person with something like this, you're going to be gentle with someone blunted by all the extra protection. And the place these guys are headed is exactly 5-star.
Men are loaded one by one onto special units and military buses. Their heads forced down as officers keep them under strict control. Vehicles escorted by special forces transport them straight to the notorious seaside prison. The same facility where El Salvador's government has locked up tens of thousands of gang members in recent years. Inside the prison wall,
so these guys, they haven't walked properly under their own power or by themselves since the moment they got on the airplane and were flown here. They're under the total control of the secure operation that is their new life in this those incarcerated desire to try and rise up and start, which creates a safe environment for everyone. You don't want to again. Hear everything in control, organized, and there have been zero escape. And then we get the president incarceration process, or you remove the past from your new future, which some people say is done to humiliate an object of quantum naturalism.
together. Stand over them. Cameras capture the moment the brain wipes
The moon haunts you!
Down to 30 seconds.
You do not want to be one of those cells. And if you look, you're going to and they don't have hair on their head. As said in an interview, one of the prison guards said requires some aid. And since these are some of the most dangerous people in the entire world, hide something sharp and
Supernova!
The way this place is set up, it's really easy to tell that they don't have any contraband or personal belongings on them. However, there are allegations that this is real firepower! Depending on where you get your news, you might think that no prison on earth is more quantum master. Is that really true? Is this prison been videotaped and filmed thousands of times? I am actually so sad and inhumane. People I feel better already. Quantum master. I am straight. I have destroyed Midnight's tomb. The moon haunts you! Dragon Bully! You're well done! Healing power.
Destroy these arms!
Member from Venezuela or
Also, this prison, this place, it's been videotaped, it's been filmed, there have been news agencies, there have been influencers that have gone here and got personal invitations to tour it. And look on the screen here, these guys are wearing white shoes and white clothes. And look in the corners along the wall there. It's clean, their clothes are not filthy or dirty. That's hard to do when you're wearing white. And to be honest with you, this looks a lot nicer than a lot of the places we jail people in America, where we've got more money to spend on things like cleanliness and hygiene, and where we care more about the rights of people who are incarcerated. So here's Rikers Island. Look at this place. It's chaotic, it's not organized, it's overcrowded.
Pick your hero.
This prison in El
Or
Salvador,
villain.
yes,
I'm
it's
not
able to hold
judging.
40,000 people, but it's not full.
I will bring peace to
Clean,
this
there's not a
universe,
spot of dirt
no
in this
matter the
place. And look at
cost.
how organized it is. And what's very interesting about this is there seems to be a level of transparency with this controversial prison that doesn't exist for any other correctional detainment facility anywhere in the world. They've got CNN over here, they've got NPR over here, and none of this footage is censored or blurred out. They're showing you the real thing. This is how this prison is. And there's never been an escape attempt here, even though it houses some of the most dangerous people on the entire planet.
Perfection is unattainable,
criminals
but that
in the
should not
country.
stop us from trying to achieve it.
This is where El Salvador's president has offered
30
to
seconds
house
before you
some
attack.
deportees
Get
from the
ready.
United States.
There's nothing I can't
Outside
fix.
of their cell for
Hey,
just 30
Thor,
minutes a day.
let me see the hammer.
No visitors are allowed.
Is it possible to get a tattoo like this if you're not a gang member?
So that's it. Once you're inside this place, all time stops. You're here You've got nothing. You have no personal possessions. You have no visitors, and this is it.
The battle starts in
23.5
5,
hours a day.
4,
And there are people out there
3,
who want to say that this
2,
is not a
1.
criminal activity.
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Of course,
Got
it's
it?
a deterrent for criminal activity. Look how safe El Salvador is now. Even Wikipedia is forced to admit that this is the, what is it called? The safest country in Central America? That's insane. This happened just here. Who wants to be cooped up in a place with some other criminals with no personal belongings? Nobody wants that. And this is totally different than a progressive U.S. prison where inmates don't have PlayStations. Nope, you only get 30 minutes a day of physical activity here, and that's it. You can see here that people are in relatively good shape. They're eating properly. And
Mission area is yours.
be proud of your what they did.
I just can't believe that people are
Feel my power. Healing power.
Opposing to remove these individuals that are causing
sure you don't have
a lot of
enchanted
havoc
fist,
in
Cap?
our communities. But I guess if they don't want them in Venezuela or the justice doesn't want them to work, the
Cosmos heals.
You know, it's crazy to think about people out there who see gang members and say, oh, they don't deserve to be in place and they can't hurt anybody else. And these gangs, like this Trende Arago, one of the gangs that had a lot of members on this place, just said they look at the people around them as human capital that can be best used to serve the crime organization. It's terrible. And these people are not responsible for committing victimless crimes. But apparently we've got judges who don't see it that way. They look at these criminals and they go back. They don't want them to put in a facility that is organized and clean or speaks something. They would rather have some people roam the streets of sanctuary cities like New York, like they which is what these block. These deportation flights, even though they still might end up happening in the near future.
We are in this together.
Control these.
And I think we need to change our mentality, even when we refer to them and talk about them. This is how dangerous they are. I think this is how we with
Extermination!
and know how to deal with them.
Here is almost yours.
How to come up with that in the United States.
So people in the United States are telling us it's 2022 that the Cosmos heals. That's the first time because people were
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
but it's happening. People want America. And even though not everybody who came here is
Back up all that bravado.
Born again!
Something that's obviously happening in places like New York that rich people. These gangs target places like Midtown. And here they get arrested and get released because we don't punish criminals. Now, finally, something is being done to get the bad guys off of our streets once and for all.
Absolutely. This is what I worked a lot internationally is rescuing women and children from exactly these groups that are making billions with a B. And let's remember, the Tenderagua is backed up by a cartel
I
de
will
los
leave
Soles.
this
You might
universe
haven't
a better
heard this
place than it
It's a
was
cartel of the
before
sun,
I was
which
created.
is the biggest cartel there out of Venezuela that is run by Maduro. And this is how they get their financing.
So these gang members, they're not just a bunch of punk
30
kids with
seconds
big
before you
hands.
attack.
They're
Get ready.
government-funded criminal enterprises. That's what these are. And it's crazy that here in America, you've got judges and an entire political party that has dedicated themselves to defending these people in the name of open borders, because to them, somebody with a criminal record or a criminal past, they're less of a threat than the border being closed. Even though the second many of these people come over here, they get to work doing what the government of their country is paying them to do, forcing people into labor situations they shouldn't be in, bringing illegal products and items into our country, which then go about wreaking havoc on the streets of our cities. But there's another reason. People in America are so against the idea of this mega prison being used at all for anyone.
Represents Venezuela migrants in the U.S. He says now some are choosing to self-deport.
Some assistance, please. Healing power. Creatures of the
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Non-clients that I've come into contact.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
They captured the mission area.
Prison opens up, and Trump's been in office just a couple of months, and now people are leaving America voluntarily, self-deporting. Were we really supposed to believe that those people ever had the legal right to be here to begin with? Of course not. And why would they be self-deporting if they didn't think they had anything to bring? Only the most dangerous gang members in the world. They're not sending billions of dollars to a place like this, revealing that the true level of privilege who enter our country will live on.
I will make sure. Healing power.
Armed and dangerous! Denying it for some reason, fighting to stop these deportations, to stop gang members from being sent there, because a disincentive like this that actually works is wholly unacceptable for those who want our border to stay wide open. What are you feeling? Dangerous gang members and criminals be sent to a place that's designed for dangerous gang members and criminals. Or
a shield.
Hell, they're American jails or prisons where they can possibly get paroled and released again. And do you think this is a real disincentive to
Past the halfway point.
in our country? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
The cosmos heals you.
Disappear!
Amazon workers way home.
Believed to be a national organized burglary ring. Men and women dressed up like news workers.
That's the most shocking thing about all this, right?
so
It
much
happened
to do.
in plain daylight. People disguised allegedly as food and Amazon delivery workers. Now, Irvine police are able to link this alleged ring to at least one burglary here in the Great Park community. Family and their neighbors say they're just glad they weren't
I feel better already.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be home either. These people come out. It's a shame to look at these they stole a lot.
Unite.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The man and two others run out of one's house with a backpack and tens of thousands of dollars.
Documents, credit cards, tens of thousands
Destiny
of dollars worth
awaits.
of property gone. Irvine police say the family may have been targeted by a transnational organized crime ring.
That's awful. Why
You would not mourn me, I will honor the loss. Quantum magic.
This is a nightmare.
Just another food deliverer at your doorstep. That's what the police want you to think. But Irvine police says this is her finding a victim.
The reason that they surveil these homes is so that they can figure out when.
Born again!
No attack. The cosmos heals you. Stronger together.
That's the most I need.
Second chances over. Quantum magic. This time
Keep going.
I have located one of our
Dressed up as Amazon delivery people. Look like
Armed and dangerous!
delivery people, but they were all part of the gang.
Making 5 arrests this week in Fontana. 4 men and a woman from Colombia. Detectives calling them a professional burglary. Investigators say among the items found, property stolen from one home.
There's still so much to do.
And Irvine is that the safety, right? It ranked consistently as the safest city in the U.S.
Yeah, those safe city rankings, I don't believe them because we've got sanctuary cities all over this country, sanctuary states.
The cosmos heals you.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Discovered several $100,000 of stolen valuables inside 2 storage. Police believe the group is part of an organized burglary crew responsible for Juan's burglary and potentially many more.
No, potentially
Based on all
more.
the data that we've collected and sharing and collaborating with our partners, we've determined that this type of behavior where they surveil, they wear, they'll take an Amazon vest or a construction vest to make it look like they fit into the area, and they
Perfection
travel
is
in crews.
unattainable, but that should not stop us from trying to achieve it.
Imagine people could become a victim on Eastern Day. it's a peaceful day. People go out enjoying time with family.
30
seconds before you attack.
That's
Get
when
ready.
the criminals want to come and break into your house like this when they know
Did
there's
I ever
nothing
tell you
going
that I
on.
read,
And as you're
like,
about to see, this kind of thing is
all
very
of your
common.
comics when I was a kid, Cap?
On edge tonight
nice to
after
know
a
that even in my
series of home
absence, I
burglaries
helped
over the
inspire the
past
next
few weeks.
generation of
Residents
heroes.
say that they are
Yeah, they were
concerned
my
about their
grandpas.
safety
He
after
thought you were the
burglars have targeted at
bees.
least 8 homes, including one turned into
The
a
battle starts in 5,
Security cameras have
4,
captured several
3,
break-ins in the
2,
Groves and Orchard
1.
Hills. It's a guard-gated
All
community.
you need to do
with
is capture the mission
multiple
area.
homes in
Got it?
Irvine. Residents are too afraid to reveal their identity say they're living in fear because of the string of burglaries and robberies in the past few months.
This time, I'm healing you.
Some residents have had hidden cameras surveilling their homes.
That's obscene.
The mission area is yours to capture now.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
These broke in through a back door. Someone see that and do it. When I was special on, they were like just trembling, like shaking down. The grandmother was actually inside the house.
Armed and dangerous! God's might!
Cosmic mind returns.
Born again!
Oh,
they ship once in that time.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting when most
Cosmic second chances over.
standing against ICE agents when they come to do their job. Especially the criminals in this criminal here are the same people that just got busted as the ones we look at first. It's the same type of crime.
Because most heroes
Unfortunately, the Southern California area, not just Irvine, is experiencing professional residential burglaries by transnational groups. Authorities want residents to know, though, that they're taking these break-ins
Enemy combatants!
So the police also criminals
That was close.
to begin with. That is absolutely frightening. But we've seen this in the fight somewhere else as well.
There's
still so much to do.
All from Chile are accused of carrying out the burglary. Officials say these photos show them wearing Burroughs' diamond number 9 necklace.
Keep capturing the mission area. Keep going.
Healing shower since the hat believed to be taken from JB's home. Police say nearly $300,000 were invested.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Busted committing the same type of home invasion, but they were taking their stolen goods to a pawn shop right in the middle of
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
They're probably offloading all this stuff in the pawn shops or selling it online, getting rid of it in a way where it doesn't look like anything dishonest is taking place.
There's still so much to do.
A 911 call reporting a break-in at Burroughs Anderson Township home.
The universe has a great plan. You are not a
Born again! A special deputy was posted out front. Burglars broke in through the back. Snapping this photo
I feel better already.
That was later deleted. A trail camera captured someone trying to
Chances
It says following the burglary, court records say the man went to
You'll have
court.
to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I am at your service.
So scary.
A day after the
Stuff like this and sell it to make money. And they're figuring out progressive cities and states all over the place that are going to harbor them. They can get away with this to a greater extent than anybody thought possible. And the worst part about all of this is when ICE
One of Stranger's portals. Watch your backs.
country and you want understand what's going on as the manipulated stands in their way of death.
Cosmic might returns. Quantum
officials rather say let's keep fighting until we have exploring how police should interact with federal immigration agents. CNN's Gloria Pazmino is.
Okay, so what happened here in this video is you have an ICE arrest of somebody who was in the country illegally, had an outstanding warrant for assault, and what happened? They get surrounded by the locals who come out and start screaming and yelling at them. Police get called to the scene, and the reason there's outrage here is because the local police stopped residents from attacking federal agents who had jurisdiction and were doing their job. And this is why these transnational criminals, who are really illegal immigrant criminals, feel as bold as they do in this country.
The community is reacting is by coordinating their